Greetings, this is Jesse from Nintendo Dads with my this week's Let's Play is Slay the Princess the Pristine Cut from the eShop description. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin, and in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it'll be the end of the world. She will do everything in her power to stop you. She'll charm, she'll lie, she'll promise you the world, and if you let her, she'll kill you a dozen times over. You can't let that happen. You do care about the fate of the world, right? Fully voice acted by the impeccable Jonathan Sims and Nicole Goodnight. Hand penciled art. Every background is bright as drawn traditionally with pencil and paper. A princess. She's very bad, and you have to get rid of her for all our sakes. No, the princess isn't a cosmic horror. She's just an ordinary human princess, and you can definitely slay her as long as you put your mind to it. Don't even think about trying to romance her, or it won't end well for you. Hopefully, you won't die, but if you do, you'll die a lot. Be careful and stay focused on the task at hand. No time loops, don't be ridiculous. Time is a strictly linear concept, and it certainly doesn't loop, whatever that's supposed to mean. A branching narrative where what you say and what you believe determines both who you are and how the story unfolds. Slay the Princess is a choice driven psychological horror visual novel dating sim with dramatic branching, light RPG elements, and hand penciled art. Okay, interesting combination. Let's give this a try. Please don't. I'm presuming this is a loading screen because no buttons aren't doing anything. It would be nice if it showed a progress bar or at least something spinning showing it's working instead of soft locking itself. At least give me some music or something. Hello? Dunk, dunk, dunk. Okay, well, that button still works. That button works. Oh, now we got something moving. Don't know why it took so long, but it was like a minute before it even started to move. Almost there. Keep going. You can do it. Hey, David. Thanks for watching. This is a horror game. It is not intended for all audiences. Please visit our website if you need a list of specific content warnings. Slay the Princess contains flickering image effects as well as a parallax effect that on rare occasions has caused motion sickness in players. If either of these effects cause health issues for you, you can disable them in the game's preferences. Slay the timer, right? Whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see through them. There are no premature endings, there are no wrong decisions, there are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. That sounds quiet. David, how does the music sound? Should it quiet or should I bring it up? I'll bring it up a little bit, see if I need to lower it again, I can, but I brought it up a little. Alright, preferences. Skip. The quick menu visible. Blinking CGC on. Boil effect on. Parallax on. Flickering images on. Auto advanced text on. Subtitle language. English. New game. Chapter 1.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will
I think
be
this
the
is
end
motion
of the
controlled.
world.
The end of the world? What
I'm
are you
talking about
about
the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
But how could a princess locked away in the basement end the world?
Linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Do you have any evidence to back this up?
You're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
Alright. So the left stick controls the icons in the upper corner. Okay, the D-pad does too. Left and right changes that. Up and down changes my option. I have a lot of options. Have you considered that maybe she's the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's
While
locked
I
up?
appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
I think a princess seems kind of bad, though, doesn't it?
Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
David says, don't trust this guy. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what to think here yet. Can't someone else do
if only
this?
that were the case, but I don't make the rules. I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far, but unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off. Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did.
I don't believe that. Forget it, I'm not doing this.
Are you serious? No, you have to do it.
Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending?
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end. I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists, or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
Surely. Do I get some sort of reward for doing this?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
Can you tell me what my prize is going to be for doing the job?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
Okay, looks like I've gone through all the exploring. Now I'm left with the actual options. Look, I'll go to the cabin and I'll talk to her, and if she's as bad as you say, then maybe I'll slay her, but I'm not committing to anything until I've had a chance to meet her face to face. Okay, fine, I'll go to the cabin. Okay, I'm sold, let's get this over with. Oh, okay, thanks for telling me what to do. Silently continue to the cabin, or turn around and leave. Let's do that one, just to see what'll happen.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
Okay, so much for that idea. Oh, options changed. Okay, fine, you're persistent. I'll go to the cabin and I'll slay the princess. Ugh. Okay, fine, I'll go to the cabin and I'll talk to the princess. Maybe I'll slay her, maybe I won't. I guess we'll see. Lie. Yes, I definitely know where I'm going. Nope. The only thing that matters is I'm not going. The cabin... I am not going to the cabin. Like I said, I'm pretty okay with the world ending. I relish the coming of a new... I'm going to do the lie.
Somehow I doubt that, but fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin.
Did I beat the game yet? Yes,
Good.
I'm about to beat the game right
What we're
now.
being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
The voice of the hero said something. Okay.
That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved.
I've been
after all.
bamboozled. Turn around again and leave again.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
I don't care, I'm not killing the princess. Good, maybe everyone should die. That's what they get for dumping me in the woods and asking me to kill someone for them. You're not emotionally blackmailing me into doing this. Quietly continue down the path.
Your silence is deafening. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came. Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
There's no fighting this, is there? I have to go into the cabin, don't I? Fine. Oh yeah, well, I guess I'll start walking in a different direction. Again, in fact, I'm going to just keep trekking through the wilderness until I find a way out of this place. Those are the only two options. I'll do the second.
There's always a choice. let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will. And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes, glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves. But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those
Music's
flickers
getting weird.
weren't just a trick of light. In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be. Wait, what's going on? But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world.
Yes.
You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death. You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness, but it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Okay, that was chapter 1.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
I feel like I've been through this
If you
before.
don't, it will be the end of the world.
Ah!
A terrible sense of deja vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience.
Who's the contrarian?
The entire world ending wasn't enough to get rid of us. I don't think there's much he can do other than object. I wonder what else we can do to ruin his day. If by ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day forever, then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off. The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky. The world hasn't ended yet, and you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
Those walls weren't here last time. You can't just force me to go to the cabin. I'm gonna lie. Yep, okay, head into the cabin now.
You know I can tell when you're lying, right? Please take this seriously. I am begging you. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. If we're stuck going in there, maybe we should believe her. Maybe she isn't a liar. Ignore him. He's just being difficult for the sake of it. Let's keep an open mind.
What? Oh, yes. That's my... I have one option.
The cabin interior is wrong. A confusing patchwork of many cabin interiors, all projected across what's almost the same space. But it's all shifted.
That's weird.
An inch here, a foot there, such that the seams are never quite visible enough for the place to make any sense. The only furniture of note is a plain table, its legs all the wrong lengths, its material devoid of feature. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. If he wants us to take it, Maybe we should just leave it to collect dust, or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window. What good is a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyway? No, we're taking the knife. Have you seen this place? We have literally no idea what to expect and no idea what we're dealing with. I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess. How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple and straightforward premise? You can't just say that, but when everything here is so wrong. Listen to me. My job is to describe facts as facts and to guide you through your job, which is to slay the princess and through that action, save the entire world. And if you're going to slay her, you cannot let fear creep into your heart. You cannot lose yourself before you even get to her. Oh, ho, ho, ho. You've piqued my interest. What's going to happen if we lose ourselves? Nothing, because you're going to pull yourself together. Just ignore the stressful geometry and stay calm. How? Even if we closed our eyes, you're constantly describing it to us. I'm not going to stop doing my job, so you're just going to have to get better at yours. And quickly, if you don't mind. Yes, take a deep breath. I'm all for getting under his skin, but we'll miss out on loads of fun if we shrivel up into a ball and go insane the first time we see something weird. What you're seeing here is obviously real. Just accept it and go with the flow. It really isn't hard. Okay, I'm fine. Good. Now, whenever you're ready, we're all waiting for you to complete a very important task.
My thought is, if my job was to come here to slay her, wouldn't I already have the implement of my her destruction? Why do I need to pick up a blade on site?
Ooh, we should look at ourselves. Wouldn't that be fun? You won't be looking at yourself because there isn't a mirror. There's the table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. You insisting it isn't there just makes me want to look at it even more.
Don't light a match in here. There's too much gas from this gaslighting.
Exactly. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do if you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done? You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
Laughing.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
Now, why is my
Was
hand
there a second ago?
looking like that?
Oh, now it's gone. You know that taking the mirror away from us isn't going to change things, right? We'll find it again, and then we'll see whatever it is that you don't want us to see.
So are we actually the creature? Are we actually the harbinger of doom?
You take the blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Okay, fine, you took the knife, but you really shouldn't hold it like that. Then how are we supposed to hold it? The other way, thumb at the bottom. Will look much cooler and more serious if we hold it with our thumb at the bottom. It really doesn't matter how you hold the blade, as long as you have it. Just make a choice.
My grip as is.
You keep your grip the way it is. Your task awaits.
Oh, I have the option of chucking it out the window. Let's do it.
Yes, do it! Seriously. You throw the blade at the window, glass showering the cabin as your weapon flies out into the night. I suppose you'll just have to deal with the princess without it. We'll be fine, don't worry about it. What's the worst that could happen? The world ends. Been there, done that. I'm not so sure. This place is already messing with my head. It would be much better if we had a weapon. What's done is done. Good luck, hero. The door to the basement creaks open,
Lovely.
revealing a web of branching staircases all built from unidentifiable materials. Nothing here seems to belong, and the closer you examine your surroundings, the more confused you get, your head throbbing with the effort of making sense of this place. None of the stairs even seem to go anywhere, let alone down. The air here has a sickening, almost sludge-like miasma to it, the kind of indiscernible quality that comes from the blending together of every scent there is at once. An odour that is simultaneously everything and yet the sum of it all coalescing into a thick, nauseating nothing. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favour. Her voice, a disquieting collage of tone and personality, drags up the stairs.
My UI went away.
Are you here to kill?
No, thank you.
That was weird.
Oh, don't be such a baby. I don't want to do this. Let's just turn around and leave. This feels wrong. This feels like a trap. Like whatever we do, we're gonna die. We don't even have a weapon. But we already tried turning around and leaving, didn't we? And he threw up a wall. No way to go but forward. And whatever choice we make, whatever she is, we know one thing for sure. And what's that? That the fate of the world hinges on your success? There'll still be plenty of ways to ruin his day.
Take the harsh stairs to the left.
You step to the left. The path is cruel against your feet, the impact of each step sending pulsing vibrations up your legs, until there's nothing left in them to feel. The air around you grows cold the further you progress. At first a barely noticeable drop, quickly evolving into a numbing cold. Your toes feel like blocks of ice, your breaths puff out in clouds of condensed vapor. You shudder against it as you continue down the stairway, losing yourself in the bone-deep chill. You slowly lose sense of yourself the further you go. Time disappears, and you can feel yourself begin to untether. Physical sensations dull and then vanish, until the only things experienced are the endless repeating patterns and emotions of the journey, a continuous march forward to a destination long forgotten. Consumption and betrayal, skepticism and blind devotion, rivalry and submission, terror and longing, pain and unfamiliarity. And at the heart of it all, an emotion that can only be described as...
Are you just going to stand there?
What the hell was that? What happened to us? I feel so strange. Like I'm fundamentally different, but also still the same person I was at the top of the stairs. Oh well, that was a trip, but now it's over. Time to get back to our old devilish ways. The princess, eyes bright but otherwise shrouded in darkness, watches you impatiently from the other side of the basement. Don't forget why you're here. And why are we here again? In case you weren't listening, I'm afraid I lost myself on the way down. You're here to... He's just being an ass, we remember. though I'm still not sure if we should trust you. Let's talk to her for a bit, try and get our bearings. She seems normal.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was here.
Yeah, I know. I've been watching you stare at me for a long, long time.
The shadows recede, revealing the princess's face. I don't think she likes us. Wouldn't you be skeptical of someone stumbling in here if you were her? We lost ourselves the second we stepped into this place. I don't know how long she's been here, but I can't imagine it would be easy for her to trust anyone. Those eyes, though. They're so sharp. It's just deception. Don't buy into it. You can do this.
It's okay. Don't worry. Sometimes I get lost here too.
Okay.
As the princess speaks again, it's almost as if she fractures. Where there was once just one of her, there is now another. We can do that? I don't like this. It's those cabins all over again. Can we put her back? You said you'd been here before, right? What exactly happened last time? Does it matter? Yes, it matters. But I'm not going to waste any more time prying out details if you're going to be so irritating about it. It seems to me like you saw something you weren't supposed to have seen. If only you'd listened to whatever words of wisdom you were given in that other reality. But what's done is done, isn't it? Whatever you saw last time, unsee it. Whatever thoughts weaseled their way into your head, unthink them. If it's not already too late. You have a job to do here, and you need to do it now. Ooh, new plan. Let's see if we can make even more of her.
There's more of you now.
And what's that supposed to mean? Are you trying to get under my skin? There must be something wrong with you. I'm the same as I was a moment ago.
She fractures again. I don't like where this is going. Neither do I, which is why you need to slay her now before things get more complicated than they already are. How would we even do that? Where would we start? We could always start by retrieving the blade. The one he made us throw out the window. I wasn't the one who threw it. Oh, come on, you told us to. Don't try to pass the blame now that it's come back to bite us. Well, if I'd known we'd be dealing with this, maybe I wouldn't have been so hasty with my suggestions. I don't think we're going to be able to put her back. Kind of hurts to think about it, doesn't it? It's like everything we say just multiplies her. It certainly looks that way, so please, for the love of everything, stop asking her questions and stop stalling. You're obviously just making things worse.
What was your name?
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really. You can call me Princess, if you'd like. Princess.
None of them have names. How astute. I told you she was untrustworthy.
Each fracture speaks independently of each other. That's interesting. Getting down here was weird. Like I was pulled apart and put back together again. Do you know what happened to me?
What, like you need me to hold your hand and tell you everything's okay? You're not really cut out for this, are you? Why are you even here? We're probably stuck down here forever, aren't we? There's no way out, and barely a way in. Sometimes I feel like I'm being pulled apart too. It's so terrifying down here. But at least now you're not alone. And I'm not alone either. I don't remember what it was like before I was in this place. Why would I know what happened to you?
For all I know, you're locked down here for a reason. Do you know why you're down here?
Maybe it's because I'm dangerous. But you know, right? You have to know. You're the only other person I've ever seen. Or at least the only one I can remember. Don't give me false hope. Please just end this already. One way or another, just do it. Don't be coy. We both know why I'm locked away here. I'm a monster, and the second I get out of this place, I'm going to end the entire world.
Okay, that's not creepy.
This is reaching its breaking point. If you don't act now, there will be nothing in here but her. Take a deep breath and focus up. You can do this. But how do we decide what to do? Can there even be a right choice when all of them are so different? Stop overthinking it. Your drifting thoughts have clearly been part of the reason this situation has gotten out of hand. If you're trying to do the right thing, there's only ever been the one option, and that option is slaying her. Just do something. Do anything. Do all of it, if that's what you want. This place is hell, and it's only getting worse.
Okay. I'm confused. There are 3 options, but I select them all. This looks like a bug. I'm getting you out of here. Try to free her. I don't know what you are, but I can't trust you. I can't trust anything here. Leave her in the basement. Regretfully think about that time you threw the blade out the window. This doesn't look right. So, that's the only option I can select. I'm going to hit it.
Wait, that's not right. Go on. You take a step forward. Your foot lands, but it lands different. You experience a firm footfall, a gentle tread, a confident stride. You can feel yourself rupture. The room spins, your perception multiplying in a sickening kaleidoscope as your very self is pulled in incomprehensibly many directions. You find the blade suddenly in your hands. All at once you use it to strike at her bindings as you remain upstairs and slay her and leave her to languish alone.
What?
Is this what the end of the world looks like? What an unbearable mess.
I'm confused.
But this... we can't... Do you not have anything witty to say? I could use a good bit of wit right now. No, I don't, because this isn't fun. How are we supposed to have fun if everything is happening at the same time? It's the same as nothing happening, and nothing is excruciating. Luckily for all of us, nothing and everything doesn't go on forever. The world and the princess collapse in on themselves before it all falls apart. I think he's gone. We were never going to salvage this, were we?
What happened to us? What are we? There are parts of us that are dead, and the others they just don't fit. They just don't fit. We can feel them moving around in spaces they don't belong. It's all so uncomfortable. Did you do this? Did we do this? Can you pull us back apart? Can you fix us?
We should help her. I think we did this. How surprisingly sincere. I didn't actually think our actions had consequences. It's a little late for regret, isn't it?
Please.
It's going to be okay. I'll do my best. I don't think you're supposed to be fixed. No, you just destroyed everything. I'm not going to fix you or say nothing. I'll do my best. But you don't know if she had the chance to hear your reply. She's gone, replaced with something else.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
I don't know where she went, and I don't know how we'd even go about looking for her.
You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing. Then what the hell are we supposed to do?
Narrator
It
is
is.
gone.
Does that mean the world ended? Again, what the hell are we supposed to do?
I think I'm supposed to look at the mirror.
Something dreadful about it. I don't think you should. No, don't do that.
Approach the mirror.
I'm begging you, don't do this.
Mirror never scared you
It's
before.
different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. You are alone in a place that is empty. It's quiet here. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Approach her.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
What do you mean?
Thoughts without connections. A dim and nascent network. I wish to be more.
What do you think I am?
I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
The gift of a fragile vessel?
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. These ones are a contradiction, a winding kaleidoscope of paths unwalked. They are stretched into a shape not unlike me, but it is a shape they cannot hold. I am sorry that you met this vessel so early in your journey, but they will make for a rich and vibrant heart. Do not mourn them, for they will finally get to know themselves.
Is this the end of the world?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
Do you know the narrator?
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
Let her out of there.
I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt.
Are you what sent me to slay the princess? Are you what trapped me here?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
You know about the worlds beyond this place.
I know only that they are.
Are you the princess?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
But were you always the princess, or are you just making her a part of yourself?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
Do we know each other?
You are are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you.
What happens now?
Nothing, as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
More options. Aren't you scared that I'll find a way to kill you?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
How much will I forget?
Everything, until we meet again.
How many more pieces of you do I have to find?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
And what if I don't let you do this to me?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow.
I was sent to slay the princess to stop her from destroying the world. If I help you, is that what you're going to do?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
You're being semantic. What are you going to do if I help you?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
Okay, make me forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Everything goes dark and you die. Back to chapter 1. Okay.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
I'm
And
confused.
in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
You can skip previously seen dialogue by hitting the R button on your controller. So, let's... Alright, this run I'm just going to do it and see what happens. Sweet, I've always wanted to off a monarch. Vive la revolution!
That's the spirit. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
I think I'm here to kill you.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
I haven't decided yet.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us. The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
We'll be fine.
I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty awkward. A relationship. Are you coming on to me? How would I get you out of here? I'm here because you're supposed to end the world. There's people out there who's thinking you're going to end the world. What do you have to say about that? What's your name? How long have you been down here? Do you know why I'm here to kill you? Okay, we've talked enough. Do you know why I'm here to kill you?
Do you?
You're apparently going to end the world.
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
I was hoping you'd tell me.
Ending the world seems like an awful lot for just one person to do. I wouldn't even know where to start.
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less.
What's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
Relationship?
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
How would I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't... well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
How long have you been down here?
Too long.
Okay, we've talked enough.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
I'm going to keep you locked away down here, at least for a bit. We can get to know each other better while I decide what to do.
That seems like a pretty good compromise. Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier for both of us if you help. And if you don't, I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
Locking her in the basement.
I know you think this is a fair compromise, but it isn't. No one wins here. It's a chance we'll have to take. We can make this work. If we just stay here and keep watch, no one has to die.
You're making a mistake.
You turn your back to the princess and make your way to the stairs.
It won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. Either way, she dropped her mask, didn't she? You can still turn around and finish the job.
No, we're sticking to the plan. We're locking her down here. Or, oh, that's a relief. I was afraid I'd already committed to not slaying her.
It'll
Lock.
be the death of all of us, but fine. Have it your way. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay, we can make this work. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways. It's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it. You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker. No, it doesn't.
Threaten me all you want. All it does is ease my guilty conscience. So all that was just an act, wasn't it? You're not really innocent or harmless. You're not even a princess. You're a monster. Ignore her and go to sleep. I'll say the second one.
I could be innocent and harmless, if I want to be. Teasing me with fresh air and a chance to finally live freely doesn't inspire me to play nice.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way. Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach. Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
I'd say better luck next time, but we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
The Nightmare. That's a different title than the first chapter, too.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
But I died. What am I doing
I
here?
assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Shh. What if he hears us?
Voice of the
That's a very
paranoid.
good question, little voice. What if he does hear you? Shit.
New
I think
voice.
you'll find yourselves very hard-pressed to keep any secrets from me. Not that it matters right now, because like I said, this is the first time we've met. Still, I'd rather not get off on the wrong foot. We've a world to save, after all.
Let's assuming I'm telling the truth, and all of this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing
Those are
anything?
two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. We couldn't trust either of you, and as far as I'm concerned, we still can't. All we did was lock her away. And how'd that work out for you? No comment. Well then, congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And your solution is to send us back in there. Do you want us to slay the princess, or do you want the princess to slay us? Obviously, I want you to slay her. One of you poses a threat to the world, and the other doesn't. Anyways, I believe your other question was something along the lines of, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We were killed by the princess, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Speak for yourself. From my perspective, there were plenty of consequences. I'm never going to forget the way she just made us stop working. And that's only scratching the surface. If what you said is true, it begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or have you found yourself in another world altogether? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? If she brought an end to everything and everyone, how are we supposed to stop her? What do you want from us? I want you to succeed. You'll find a way. You're the only one who can.
Let's talk about
Just
this.
be quick about it.
Just being around her in the end shut down all of my organs. What the hell am I supposed to do about that? Or, to quote you from last time, she's just a princess. How can you possibly justify saying that? She's clearly something far, far worse. Who locked her in the basement? What is this place? Never mind. Oh, I'm torn between 2 and 3. Let's go 2.
She is just a princess. Whatever you think happened to you last time, just get it out of your head before you get to the cabin, and you'll be fine.
Who locked her in the basement? What is this
People
place?
locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
If people locked her away, why couldn't they slay her? Why is this falling on me?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. You can't just goad us into doing something by calling us special. It's manipulative. Why are you trying to manipulate us? I don't know, I kinda like being special. Okay, fine. Maybe you can goad him into doing something, but he's not even the one who makes the decisions here. I'm not goading you into doing anything. You already know the princess is dangerous. All I'm trying to say is that you have to be the one to deal with her. I know it doesn't seem fair, but that's just the way it is. And for what it's worth, I know you have it in you to finish the job. We don't. You saw what happened to us last time. We need to leave.
You're being cagey. What aren't you telling
I've
me?
told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. If you want us to stand a chance against her, we need to be armed with information. What is she really capable of? How are we supposed to stop her? Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to take me at my word. He isn't telling us everything he knows because he doesn't trust us, which means that we can't trust him. Stop talking yourself in neurotic circles and just get to the cabin already. Do you see the way he keeps pushing us? We have to get out of here.
Being around her in the end shut down all my organs.
Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me. Don't talk to her, don't trust her, just go in, do your job, and save the world. Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. I don't think lying and cheating is her thing. She was very direct with us last time. Or at least, she was direct with us after we decided to lock her away. It doesn't matter. Don't trust anyone. The interior of the cabin is plain, the smooth wood of the walls almost featureless. The only furniture of note is a lone table, knocked on its side in the corner of the room. A pristine blade stands between you and the open, inviting basement doorway. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Hold on. What happened to the door? There was a door here last time. It's just an empty frame. She's already gotten out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. Can't you feel her eyes on us? I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. The princess has not already gotten out. But if you keep getting stuck in your head like this, you're going to struggle to get the job done. So deep breath in, deep breath out. Your task awaits, and only you can do it.
This whole cabin is different than I remember it being.
Very different. I'm not the only one who sees her in the window, right? She knows that we're here. Calm down. Maybe the three of you just think everything is different because you haven't been here before.
Three of you?
Enough of this past life nonsense. You haven't died, you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. A lot's riding on this.
If it's the voice of the hero and the voice of the paranoid, who's the third person? Presuming the narrator isn't talking about himself.
You reach down and pick the blade up off the floor. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. Steel can't lie to us. Is it gonna be enough, though? Couldn't you have given us something else? Something, I don't know, better than a knife?
And we have a bomb.
Could we have a bomb? The blade is the only thing you need to finish your task. You're more than capable of pulling this off, so long as you don't lose faith in yourself. Those are the words of someone who knows he's sending us to our death.
That's what I said in the first loop of this, or the first time through this game. I don't know if you weren't here yet.
You cross over the threshold and onto a series of isolated steps suspended in darkness. More eyes, too. You never mention the eyes. The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning and static, as if you're descending into a place that isn't meant for a creature of flesh and blood. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
Okay,
Her
so if
cruel
you
and playful voice
that was part of
rises up
chapter
the
2. I
stairs.
think I said that in my
Why
first
do you
loop
think
through
you've come
chapter
back?
1.
We're gonna have a lot of fun, you
So
and
she
I.
knows I've been back.
Okay, we need a game plan. Last time we were here, just being close to her was enough to kill us. It can't be that hard.
How hard is it to throw a knife?
But then we'd lose our weapon. We'd have to make it count. Otherwise she'd be furious and we'd be defenseless. If a knife is even enough to do anything against something like her in the first place. It'll be enough.
Alright, let's do it. We don't need a plan. I'm just going to kill her. Mr. Narrator seems to think I can do it. I don't know why you're all being such pessimists right
Finally,
now.
a voice of reason. The rest of you should take notes. You know why I'm being a pessimist. I'm just asking questions. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, you find yourself
This
between
is new.
2 loose rows of white wooden planks suspended in nothingness. A smattering of cobblestones visible against the inky black of the basement mark where the floor should be, forming vague pathways. At what seems to be the end of the room, they diverge in opposite directions, left and right. She could be anywhere, and there's nowhere for us to hide. We're completely exposed. Are you really not going to comment on how weird this place is? No, I'm not. We're going to die down here. I don't want to die again. Please stop saying that. You're only going to make things worse. Just pick a direction and start moving.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter. Because either way you go, I'm going to find you.
Okay. Go left.
You turn to the left. A faintly outlined path lies before you.
There you are. I told you I was going to find you.
As the princess approaches, your legs suddenly go numb. Your arms quickly follow. This is it, isn't it?
And you brought your little knife with you again. Cute.
There has to be a way out of this. Think! Think! What did you do? Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you break.
Your vision cuts out as your blood begins to coagulate. It's as if every part of your being is coming to a lurching halt. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Your lungs pull in a desperate gulp of air as your eyes shoot back open. What are you doing? I'm working. Do you want this body to function, or do you want... And then experience stops once more as your body reapproaches death. Okay, whatever you were doing, please just start doing it again. Are you sure about that? Are you sure that's what you want, or do you want to interrupt me some more? You have seconds left.
Yes, I'm sure.
Heart, lungs, liver. Again, your eyes shoot open as you gasp for breath. Liver,
Can't decide what you want to do, can you?
lungs.
Oh well, standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead. Even if you look ridiculous.
She isn't attacking us.
Liver.
Why? The why doesn't matter. She's already proven her ill intent.
Liver.
Don't lose sight of your mission.
Heart. Lungs.
Your weapon is still in your hands. Strike at her and end this before it's too late.
Liver. Nerves. Heart. Lungs. Liver. Nerves. Heart.
Because I don't want to. And even if I did, I don't have to.
Nerves.
Look at the way you're struggling to stay alive. It's taking everything you have to keep your heart pumping right now. And I'm enjoying the show.
Liver. Nerves. Heart.
The princess leans forward, bringing her masked lips close to your ear.
If I want to see you gone, all I need to do is break your concentration.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. She slowly runs her velvet glove across the base of your neck. It feels like static. And then... Shit, make her stop.
Hey, snap out of it.
Okay, deep breath, we're fine. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart. You're back. Lungs, liver, nerves, heart.
One moment,
liver,
and then you're
nerves,
gone.
heart, lungs,
Just
liver,
like
nerves, heart,
that.
lungs, liver,
Ah,
nerves, heart,
and there's the fear.
nerves. She pulls away. Lungs, liver, nerves,
But that wouldn't be very fun, now would it? I've already done that.
liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver,
What happened after you killed me last
I
time?
tried to leave while you suffocated, but that stupid cabin wouldn't let me. So I started to drag your body out with me, and then...
liver, nerves, heart, lungs,
Well, you died before I could get to the door. And then I was here, and now you're here too.
nerves, heart,
I don't think I can move without you. And dead doesn't count. And as much as I love what we have going on, I have bigger plans than tormenting one poor little creature forever. I want to leave.
nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves.
If you need me alive, then why did you threaten me on the stairs? Why didn't you try being nice to me?
I am being nice. You're alive, aren't you?
Heart, lungs, liver,
And you died of fright as soon as you saw me last time. I didn't think keeping you alive was an option. But it looks like that's not a problem anymore. At least not for me.
liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver,
You seem miserable.
liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs,
I was sent here to stop you from destroying the world. I can't just let you
I
leave.
know. You told me last time.
nerves, heart,
Destroy is such an unenlightened way of putting it. So sudden, so violent, so little nuance. I'm not going to destroy the world, but I am going to hold it in my hands and squeeze it.
liver, nerves,
I'm going to make it afraid, just like I've made you afraid.
nerves, heart,
The world needs fear, doesn't it? Every terror I bring would make the good times so much better. Well, I'm practically doing a public good.
heart,
So what harm is there really in letting me out?
lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves.
Okay. Not giving me any options. The game soft lock. Again, bet none of the buttons are doing anything. That still does. That still does. Yeah, I think it's soft locked. So, looks like there's, multiple paths to go, multiple ways to end in a fail state. Don't know if there's a third chapter if I somehow win chapter 2, or if chapter 2 is it. But I think next time I play this, I am going to go full steam ahead what the narrator wants and try not to deviate. See what happens. But I'm not going to do that on stream. I'm tired. I'm going to call it a night. So, again, we are taking this Thursday off on our podcast because it's Halloween and people want to spend time with their families. So we will be back on November 7th. I'll talk about this game then, along with talking about Mario and Luigi Brothership, since I'll be able to play it, and I'll probably do a stream Wednesday night. So, thanks for Tim, Abiasel, and David for being in the chat with me. And I'll talk to you all later. Good night.